Andersen.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Channel Zen. Happy Friday to you. I need to fill you guys in on what's been going on. So behind the scenes, you guys saw now Wednesday's episode, the return of Benzin on a Budget, episode 8. Finally got the M111K pulled out of the coupe here, and I actually need to get this thing out of the garage. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing in the video. I pulled the front SAM, not thinking that I'm going to have to get this thing out of the garage again. So I got to put the front SAM back in, put the battery on so I can at least have power to the key so I can get the steering wheel to move freely, just so I can kind of back it out to the same spot, roll it out. I will jump into that in a second, but other things you guys will be seeing soon. I got a bunch of basically upgrades for the next stage for the CLK, which is why I got to get this thing out of the way so we can try to get the clutch figured out on the red car. I have a few ideas which we're going to try in today's video, and I'll show you guys in a second, but I got to get that thing good, and then I need to get the CLK in here this weekend so we can throw on the Z-Tronics kit and get that kind of squared away. So this thing's an absolute mess, but that's kind of its designation now. I have decided I'm not going to keep this shell. As cool as it would be to build into something, it just doesn't make sense. So we'll see. I'm going to offer it basically for really cheap to maybe some buddies out there and see if anyone wants to build it as kind of like a either track dedicated car or something, because it's still definitely usable, but I don't know how many parts I'm going to end up taking off of it by the time the 190 is done. I've thought about taking the rear end, probably not now that I know the 190E rear, and I think is going to be good for what I need. It's a 195, and I think it's a pretty high, like high threes ratio. And Petio from Kangaroo's team also said he has some tricks up his sleeve in case I need to make any adjustments on that thing. So yeah, a few more parts I got to rob off this thing, but I'll be able to do that from outside. The supercharger I got to grab off it still. The radiator I got to pull. But I got to look up how to pull the supercharger out of here because the bumper might need to come off to do that. But anyways, big package on the way for this thing. Care package from FCP Euro. Big shout out to Kyle and Danny and JR. They have hooked me up big time. And FCP get a bunch of refresh parts for this thing, so we'll be able to really get it dialed in and nice and cleaned up because it is dirty and old parts on it and all that stuff. So we're going to get that thing cleaned up, as well as the transmission, and just a lot of other little things to take care of this weekend. I'll be sorting out some tire situations on the wheels that we have. I'm all over the place. You guys can probably tell from the beginning of this video, but we got a lot going on and we got to get to it. So let me throw this front SAM back in here and get this thing out of the garage. Oh, and a sneak peek, but we got some really cool parts for Project 190. So I'll show you guys that later. All right, you guys, a whole lot of connectors later for the front SAM. That was a brain workout. Just figuring out where all the plugs went, but not too bad. And now we got power to the car. So that's all I need. I just need a steering wheel to be able to unlock. Should be pretty lightweight. It's already lightweight to move around even with the motor and transmission, so now I'm sure it's not going to take much. But I basically just need to roll it back. I don't know. I might cap this off because I don't know if I press on the brake pedal right now if I'm going to have any brakes left. I'll have my foot on the e-brake just in case, but maybe I'll have my wife or me be the one to roll it back. I'm not sure, but let's figure out a game plan real quick. Alright, you guys, last thing I needed to get out for time being, radiator fan and the intercooler, even though I'll likely be replacing that one. That one looks pretty torn up. There's actually a parts one of these I'm going to go visit this weekend, hopefully pick a few things off of it, make this a little cleaner, but I don't know if this is, it could be ideal for the 190. We'll see if we can get it to fit. We can reuse it. I'm pretty sure it's working just fine. It's in okay shape. At least the fan and stuff is a worthy piece to have for sure, but I don't know if it'll fit in the 190 or not. So anyways, I think we're ready to move this thing out of here now. Nothing else I need to get from it. I'll roll up the window since it's going to be sitting outside again, and probably cover it up, and yeah, let's roll it out. Alright guys, well, this thing will not stay alive unless I keep the charger on it. So I got a long extension cable. I don't have a power or a cordless charger. I do, but it's not charged up itself right now. So try to hook this thing to life support as I back it out. I really just need to make it to like the tree over there. So cut a quick turn, back it out, see if we can do this.
I don't think you really need me to push.
Huh?
I don't think you really need me to push at this point.
Probably.
Maybe just to get going a little. Oh no. Yeah, that's good. I feel like I already got a bug right here or something. Like that car grosses me out. It doesn't gross me out. You did not gross me out, car. I'm sorry I said that to you. But I definitely, something bit me. Ow. Were you recording this?
Yeah.
They just saw me apologizing to the car.
Oh, you said the car goes you out?
Yeah, I said that the car grossed me out.
free
And then I
tools,
felt
dude.
bad.
Alright.
Okay.
Sprechen Sie out. Thanks to my wife. My strong woman. Alright guys, so much room for activities now. I didn't get the perfect landing spot for this, but it's okay. I don't feel like making my wife push the car back and forth right now. It'll do. It's close enough on this side. I just like to pull it a little more forward, so I got more room to park the CLK behind us where I usually go. But at least red car can come back in the garage so I can figure out this clutch pedal situation without having to work in the cold, because it's been freezing this week in the 30s, and I do not feel like doing this outside. But let's clean up a bit in here and then get the red car inside. Alright guys, now the red C55, so we can get this thing in the garage and continue on its journey. It is freezing out right now. My hands are freezing. Oh, I'm looking forward to working in the warm garage with the space heater. What's the clutch pedal feel like? Same thing, not popping up. Okay, and I got 2 ideas for this. I'll talk about it once we're in the garage. Alright, well, there's that thing. Beautiful red car. So excited to get the silver wheels on it, but we're in the garage at least now. We can continue on solving a few things on this thing. I totally forgot I still need to figure out the headlight wiring situation, and among other things. It's going to be kind of a few things to tackle, but hopefully we can at least get the clutch pedal solved in the next few days so I can get the CLK into the garage. I am not going to get too hopeful, but this is definitely the best it's ever felt. And normally, like, I'd test it by like holding it down here and it would end up sticking, but it's not. So I'm happy. I don't know if I'll stay happy when it comes to that. Try not to let myself get too frustrated with any of this, guys, because I don't know, and you should try not to as well. Working on cars, this is a blessing, this is fun, and I got to keep it that way. I don't want it to make it feel, you know, like misery, but you guys know that feeling of the working on your car and then something goes unexpectedly and you end up laying underneath the car singing "Hello Darkness, my old friend." There's a lot of memes about that, but hey, if this just works somehow, maybe even though I didn't get a perfect vacuum suction on the bottom, maybe I did get enough of a pull that it pushed enough fluid down there and it bled it just that much to fix our issue. And then by me pulling out whatever I could up here, even though I didn't see any bubbles that I pulled out up here, and I was able to make a really strong vacuum connection, and it was pure fluid, no bubbles whatsoever. We'll see. We'll see. So what I'm gonna do right now is get this thing buttoned up back on the ground, and tomorrow morning, I think, because this is kind of gonna be the weekend vlog video, I'm gonna prepare to go on a little road trip. We're going over to Port Orchard, which is like an hour away from us, around the Sound bottom, you know, like southern section, As for this thing, I will catch you guys with it later on after that, so that we can do a little test drive with it and see if we actually have a change. Actually. Alright guys, one more job before I go inside because I'll forget if I don't. And I just learned something new. So this hood latch, I should say, was loose. This part was wiggly and was making it so that the right side would seat all the way, close all the way, latch all the way. But the passenger side wouldn't, even though that one's tight. I think because this one's looser, it would grab on first and then it wouldn't let the other one close simultaneously. So I just learned something. There is a 13mm nut right there, and when you tighten it, tightens this thing up. So I don't need to swap this off of the coupe like I was going to. I can just throw this back on. Awesome. Alright, all good now. I can't get over this red, guys. This red is stunning. I don't know what else word to say, but it honestly is. It's a stunning, stunning color. Pretty cool. Alright guys, next morning I decided we're going to take the M155 after all. Just not going to get this thing all ready to go. Don't have time, so we're heading out. Going to celebrate my buddy's 1-year-old son's birthday. So Port Orchard, here we come. And there's a beautiful straggler. Last one to go, let's go. Come on, let's get this show on the road, dude. Come on, come on. Guy's driving slow, dude. You're supposed to be from the Autobahn. Our friends have arrived. We had to pick up these two vagabonds.
You gotta wait until we're on it, then you can look out at the water, and then you can look up at the bridge. Yeah, you can look through
You can see
here.
the towers. Those are the guard towers. They have guards up there.
Whoa, so you can see. What if you went all the way up there? Look, there's a ladder. Looks like somebody goes up
Did you
there.
climb up there?
I don't know.
It's kind of high.
How by Mark, you can see the water. Water bridge. There's speedboats?
Alright guys, shout out to my Gig Harbor people. We're stopping real quick for some coffee. Road trip vibes. Ooh, I might need something.
Oh, yeah, I think these are mine. Oh!
Excuse me, sir. Sir?
Thank you.
Hey, you.
No, you're fine.
What are you doing?
Just keeping the eye.
Oh, Sarah told you to keep an eye on those? Toasty. Alright, everybody say road trip! Road trip!
Color, because that brown has a little bit of
Maybe
red
they're under
in
the
it,
store or
right?
something?
So,
Gonna follow him?
something that is kind of blue.
Like 90% certain.
We found Darius, guys.
Watch it not be him.
Alright guys, next day we are back home and finishing up some work on this thing. I'm gonna upload the new tune and take it out for a drive a little bit, but we're doing some other stuff, so starting on Bins Under the Budget. Mike and Maze helping me out. This thing's back out of the garage. This thing I'll probably put over there so we can drive the red car, but yesterday was a ton of fun. It's good seeing all my friends and getting to celebrate a little one. Mace had a ton of fun too, so M155 was great on the road trip and we're just back to it now. So I am getting this thing tidied up. I also figured out how to do a remote clutch bleed line that I think I'm gonna install and order the pieces for, because that'll make it a lot easier bleeding from the bottom of the clutch hydraulically, and I'll explain once I get those supplies, probably in another video. But yeah, let's upload this new tune. Alright guys, about to upload the new tune for the red C55 so we can finally get rid of our code for the EGR most likely. If not, I can code it out with DOS, but I think this new tune from Josh will cover it. You guys have seen me upload tunes probably a bunch of times by now, but hit up Mercedes Swap Shop if you guys need help with anything tune related, swap related, programmer related. Josh is definitely the go-to and does great work. So check him out if you need. But I'm gonna upload this quickly, just using Galeto, and it's a fairly straightforward process. Check out some other videos if you guys need to see that, or ask Josh if you need some help. But let's do this. All right, you guys, 100% reached. Got to turn off ignition for 10 seconds. And then turn the dashboard on. Hit OK. Now we're good. Exit out of here. Okay, new tune uploaded. All right, guys, we're gonna go grab some bolts for the M111, and figured now's the time to test this thing out. Nope, still got the check engine. Our clutch pedal, I don't know. We'll see. It is popping back up, but don't know. Alright, you guys, just got back. Mike didn't want to drive because it started doing the same thing with clutch pedal again. So it's weird just because when I'm bleeding it, and I mean the other day I tested out like 50 times pressing the pedal, springs right back up, and then as soon as I drive it, kind of the warmer it gets, then it starts to get worse and worse. But it's not losing any fluid or anything like that. So I'm just gonna try to pull from the top right now and see, just while the fluid's warm, if it changed anything. But other than that, the only thing I can think of at this point is to try to hook up that remote bleed line and get a proper vacuum pull from the throw out or slave cylinder. So see what I can pull from here, if anything, and if nothing there, then my only kind of method is going to be pulling from the bottom at this point. Alright, update for you guys. The thing that I was avoiding, just decided to do it. Ripped the pedals out of the red car because this piston started being even weirder after messing with it again, and it's actually extending too far. It's basically hitting on this top part, and it's not supposed to be. When this is all the way extended, it should be stopping with a gap there still. And I think the piston on this one got damaged or whatever from us messing around, or it's not the right thing for these assemblies. So I have my 204 pedals. This clutch cylinders should be exactly the same, and it's in a lot better shape than the one that's off of the coupe pedals. So I'm gonna try to take this one and put it on here. It's just getting these off here without destroying the plastic pins that hold them on are pretty difficult. So try that, and hopefully be able to swap this thing back in. Alright guys, we got the 204 clutch master cylinder swapped over. Robbed it off of those pedals, and I'm saving for a C63. Hopefully one day we manual swap. This is the old unit. I'm swapping out the whole assembly just to eliminate, if I don't know, somehow if there's something wrong with this pedal assembly. I don't think there is. I think it's just that. But this is the one off of the coupe. This is the one Andrew gave me anyway, so I can give that back to him. I was going to give him this set, but we'll use this set. Things we learned. Got the pins off without breaking them. We used this basically. Where's the pins? Every time I took these off before, I would always end up ruining the little clips on the side. So what we did is just plug this through and then basically pound it with the hammer. That way these have room to compress all four sides, and then it will pop them out. So we're able to reuse two good ones of those. And then this is funny because it must be an update they did on the 204s. This is the same piece I used on my silver C55, because the factory ones always end up, we didn't really mangle this one, it was already like this, and it was very loose in there. The factory ones always end up getting loose, and what happened on my silver C55 is this failed, like completely popped out, and then my clutch pedal was basically gone. So I put that piece on my silver C55. I didn't know that it was from a 204. I was just randomly parts hunting, and that's why I did the whole bolt conversion over here. So that thing's ready to go back in, and the fight begins. Alright guys, we're having family time inside. Mario Kart tournament with my mom and Mike, both over here, but it's time to get these things back in. Which one am I using again? That one. I don't really care. Some people love these, the sport pedals or whatever. I can swap them over. It's not that big a deal. I run grip tape on the silver C55, and I actually prefer that out of any of these because it's always got traction on it. With the wet weather here, it's better than having either one of these because both of these are slippery once it's wet and your feet are wet. So yeah, let's throw this in there. Hopefully easier than the first time I did this one, because this was a thing that cut my nose, if you guys remember that. Alright guys, pedals are back in. Much less of a fight this time. Not really sure why, to be honest, but I think it had to do with the bolts and the nuts being on the side of the master cylinder last time, because everything gets caught on this wiring harness right there. So pull that to your left, and honestly, I should have trimmed that left part where that gold clip is. I would just trim that off if I was you guys. Makes it easier to slide past the wiring harness. But yeah, this is back in. We're gonna try to bleed just this without hooking up with the hard line first, and that way most of this hard line should be pretty much filled, as well as the throw out. So try that now. All right guys, carpet's back in. We bled it from the bottom just in case, but to be honest, it felt pretty dang good as soon as we plugged it back in, and it's like immediate difference notice. So I'm pretty sure we are good. Not gonna count my eggs before they hatch, but feels great. And we didn't get any air out of the bottom side. Pretty much got all the air bubbles from the top by bleeding it before we plugged in the bottom line. So yeah, one thing down. Not gonna be frustrated about it. Is what it is. Tried 1,000 different things trying to fix what was going on, and in the end it wasn't really anything I did wrong or my different 1,000 bleed methods. It was just the aftermarket master cylinder was not good. So that means I cannot recommend, even though I've had really good luck with Beck and Arley, for whatever reason, can't really recommend that one to you guys. So that's one I would avoid on Rock Autos, where I got it off of, but I would just go with the OEM ones. They're brand new, even from the dealer. They're $100 even, and if you buy them wholesale or aftermarket OEM ones, they're only going to be $80-90. Sometimes you get lucky and find brand new ones on eBay for like $60. I still have a brand new one somewhere in this garage that I cannot find since I moved over here, but that's right, at least we had the reserves. The pedal wall paid off big time because we didn't have to wait to order one and have downtime and all that stuff. So this is back in. I'm gonna leave things as is for now. I'll probably do some with the pedals eventually, but that's all right. Everything's working, so that's good. Let me button up this last upper panel and ready to test. All right, done. I need to find a cover for this. I don't have a cover for this, and also my plate back here is leaning a little bit, but that doesn't affect anything. So, oh well, time to get this car back on the ground. Still haven't checked what the check engine light is on for. I know it's had like a fuel pressure code before, which might be related to the sender, and the EGR might still need to be tuned out. So anyways, the new tune is on it, and yeah, let's go for it. All right guys, first official fill up. This is a good feeling so far. Feels way better than before. All right, let's see how it does. All right, you guys, well, I think that's gonna end this one. We just got back. It drove pretty good. I'll keep you guys posted on that and do a little driving video once I, you know, get comfortable, get used to it, etc. But weekend of a little bit of work and hanging out time. Good. We got this thing on the stand, so that will be ready for the next Benzin on a Budget episode. Whole lot of mess I got to clean up as normal. this thing's coming out of here tonight after I check a few things on it, so I can get the CLK in here for some electronics work. We're going to be installing the Z-Tronics kit so I can do some data logging and base maps or baselining for Josh to just have some data before we go to the next stage with our new setup that I will show you guys soon. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Family time, friend time, wrenching time. It was a good weekend. So catch you guys in the next video. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Peace.